And the Giants, they win the game 3-2 with one of the craziest plays you'll ever see in a big league game. And that's the way the Giants win this series against the Rangers.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Castrovins. Today is Monday, April 28th. And on today's show, we're going to recap a crazy weekend in MLB that included a walk-off quote-unquote homer that was hit about 2 feet, big feats featuring the feet of one of the fastest players in MLB history, and a 4-homer feat that somehow fell short. Let's get to it. The San Francisco Giants entered Sunday with 23 walk-off wins dating back to the beginning of the 2023 season. That's the most in MLB in that span. So end-of-game intrigue at Oracle Park is something of a Giants calling card. In fact, they walked off the Rangers on Saturday when Patrick Bailey punched a pinch-hit RBI single to score the winning run in a 3-2 victory. Saturday's win put the Giants on top of the loaded NL West. And on Sunday, they maintained that top spot with their wildest walk-off yet. It happened in the bottom of the ninth. The score was 2-2 as Elliot Ramos came to bat against Rangers reliever Luke Jackson. On the very first pitch he saw, Ramos tapped the ball to the left-hand side, and that was all it took to set off a ridiculous chain of events.
Is 1 for 2. Taps this one to third. And he sails it down the right field line. Ramos is on the move. And he is going to stop. No, now he's going to go to third. Here's the throw. It gets by him. Here comes Ramos. This game is over.
That'll go down in the books not as a homer, but as a single with 2 errors, otherwise known as a Little League home run for the surprising Giants, who now have 5 walk-offs in the young season. That's not only the most in the majors this year, but the most ever for a Giants team in the month of April. The Giants are now 19-10, a half game ahead of the Dodgers for best record in the NL West, and a half game behind the Mets for best record in baseball. Nobody saw this coming. Just like on Sunday, nobody saw the walk-off hit coming on a little tapper towards third base. Chandler Simpson is fast. The Rays' new leadoff man and center fielder has routinely been clocked at more than 30 feet per second in sprint speed. He's reached first base in less than 4 seconds, turning routine grounders to second base and even a one-hopper to first base into infield hits. A second-round pick in the 2022 draft, the 24-year-old Simpson was brought up to the big leagues by the Rays on April 18th. And sure enough, his impact on this club has come quickly and turned Tampa Bay into the hottest team in baseball. In only 8 games, Simpson has already logged 12 hits, 3 walks, and 3 stolen bases. On Saturday in San Diego, he showed off his defensive prowess when Manny Machado sent a deep fly to center field. And on Sunday, Simpson was everywhere, going 3 for 4 with a walk, a stolen base, an RBI, and 2 runs scored in a 4-2 victory over the Padres. He scored on a Brandon Lowe single to give the Rays their first lead, scored on a Randy Vasquez wild pitch to regain the lead after the Padres had tied it, and he put the game on ice with an RBI single in the 9th.
And a liner gonna be fair up the left field line. Here comes Jankowski around. The throw is too high, and down to second base goes Simpson, who comes through again.
The Rays are a different team with Simpson. They just completed a tough West Coast road trip in which they took 2 of 3 from the D-backs and swept the Padres in Petco. With 5 straight wins, the Rays are back to 500. And with Simpson leading the way, they might be on the fast track to success. Coming up, a 4-homer game is rare, but we saw the rarest kind of 4-homer game this weekend. That's after the break. All right, let's take you on a tour of the rest of the weekend that was in MLB. By far the best individual performance of the weekend came from Diamondbacks third baseman Eugenio Suarez, or better yet, Eugenio Forez. On Saturday night at Chase Field, he came to bat against Braves closer Raisel Iglesias in the bottom of the ninth, having already gone deep 3 times, and he tied the tilt in the most dramatic of ways.
Suarez! Fly ball! There's 4! And we're tied!
With that blast, Suarez became just the 19th player in MLB history and the first since JD Martinez, also of the D-backs in 2017, to hit 4 homers in a game. But what made this night even more rare is that while Suarez's homer forced extra innings, the D-backs lost in the 10th 8-7. Suarez became just the second player in the modern era to hit 4 homers in a loss, joining Bob Horner of the 1986 Braves. The Snakes did get a measure of revenge with a 6-4 win over the Braves on Sunday to avoid a sweep. The Red Sox took 2 of 3 in Cleveland this weekend and completed a pretty unusual feat of their own. On Saturday night, Jarren Duran was at third base and took off running.
He's coming home. Here's the throw. He is safe. A stolen base. He steals home. Jarren Duran steals home.
That straight steal of home was followed a day later by Romy Gonzalez stealing home as part of a double steal in a blowout 13-3 victory. The Red Sox became the first team with a steal of home in consecutive games since the Marlins in August of 2020. The Nationals walked off the MLB best Mets twice this weekend. First was C.J. Abrams scoring from first on a James Wood single up the middle on Friday night, and again on Sunday. The Nats had trailed 7-1 before storming back in the late innings to tie the game, and Luis Garcia Jr. came up to bat with 2 on and 1 out against Ryan Stanek in the bottom of the 9th.
Ground ball right side. Alonso gives with it. Throw is high to Stanek at the bag. Abrams will come in. The Nats walk it off again.
The Nats won 8-7. That 4-game series continues at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time today. There was no such drama in Detroit as reigning AL Cy Young winner Tarik Skubal ruthlessly held the Orioles scoreless for 6 innings in a 7-0 victory that finished off a 3-game sweep. After an 8-2 homestand, the Tigers are an AL best 18-10. The Dodgers' deep but fragile rotation took another hit Sunday when Tyler Glasnow exited early with an injury for the 2nd straight outing. After dealing with leg cramping in his previous start against Texas, Glasnow was pulled before making a pitch in the 2nd inning against the Pirates at Dodger Stadium on Sunday because of right shoulder discomfort. Regardless, the Dodgers beat the Buccos 9-2 to take the weekend series. The Yankees swept the doubleheader with the Blue Jays on Sunday to win their weekend series, and neither the 11-2 nor the 5-1 victories required a save. But the next save situation for the Yanks won't go to Devin Williams. Manager Aaron Boone announced that the struggling reliever will be removed from the 9th, and instead it will be Luke Weaver in the closer role for now. Royals pitching shut out the Astros on both Friday and Saturday in Kansas City, but Yordan Alvarez ended the Astros' 26-inning scoreless streak in a convincing way.
That ball's hammered deep to center field. All the way back is Isbell looking up. That's a 3-run shot to straightaway center. Yordan Alvarez puts 3 on the board. The Astros snap their 26-inning scoreless streak.
That monster 3-run homer and another strong start from Hunter Brown Sunday powered the Astros to a 7-3 victory to avoid the sweep. The Phillies beat the Cubs 3-1 in 10 innings to complete a much-needed series win in Chicago. Finally, check in on any Rockies fans in your life. Colorado was swept at home by the Reds over the weekend and is now just 4-23, an even worse pace than the 2024 Chicago White Sox, who of course went on to post 121 losses, the most in modern history. For the rest of the weekend scores, you know where to go, MLB.com. Coming up tonight, MLB.tv's free game of the day pits the Cardinals against the Reds at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time in Cincinnati. That's all for today's morning lineup. I'll be back with you tomorrow to recap all of today's action. Until next time, thanks for listening. Please be sure to leave us a rating and review, share this episode with the baseball lovers in your life, and enjoy the games today.